Howdy, Dale Brody from the Camper in the Woods. I wanted to talk a little bit today about profiling. What's been happening to Americans that stand up for the Constitution and get labeled domestic terrorist under the Patriot Act. When you get that label, they can shoot you on sight. And if they don't shoot you, they can put you in prison, a private prison, with no due process rights, no 14th Amendment, no nothing, no Constitution at all. And it's true. It really happens. There's one in Pahrump, Nevada, where a lot of the Bundys had to go. For a couple of years, they were tortured and found innocent and let loose, but no compensation. How can you get back 2 years of your life of living hell? You can't. Anyway, the character assassinations, they start usually with a couple law enforcement officers spreading bull. With me, it was a Wheeler County ex-sheriff now, telling the Prineville Police and Crook County Sheriff's Office, probably the state police too, that I was a dangerous part of an elite Oregon militia, and I had a training camp up here in the Ochocos. And why did he say that? I have no idea. I do carry a gun. I've always carried a gun, and I always will. And I fly 7 flags on my camper and one on my car. I got a Lavoy brand on my car. I guess that made me a domestic terrorist. At any rate, it's last June, that about got me killed, him telling them guys that, because they're going to believe him. And that's all it takes is you get pulled over or something, and they think you're a dangerous anti-government person. And I'm not anti-government. I'm anti-big government. There's a huge difference. At any rate, Lavoy, good man, very compassionate, smart, well-educated. He got labeled character assassination. That's the first assassination he got. They painted him to be a dangerous, ruthless, trigger-happy nut, and he was none of that stuff. And he was shot. And he did not have a gun on him. They killed him. It starts with a red flag. That's the spreading a rumor. And it goes to red dots, and then you get shot. And I don't think any of that... I mean, it's a double standard we're living in. ANTIFA terrorists have armed occupations, thousands of them all over the United States, ever since Trump got elected. You get killed trying to even vote for Trump. Those are terrorists. Not one thing's been done, and they've never been labeled domestic terrorists. These ranchers stood up for a constitutional right that was clearly being violated. They were well regulated. I don't agree with the taking guns and taking over the federal building, even though I've been there before, and it's just an old shack out in the middle of nowhere. It's open to the public, hunting. So most folks in the winter are packing guns in there. At any rate, the media also smear campaign. They didn't help one bit. And these people are ruthless. At any rate, and all that is derived from the Patriot Act. You lose all your rights. Okay, scenario. If forestry law enforcement, BLM law enforcement, these guys, Obama armed them. All they got to do is say, oh man, I was in fear for my life, so I had to shoot him. And they get away with it. And you look on YouTube, there's videos of it, of guys getting shot that weren't even holding a gun, because the officer says, well, I was in fear of my life. And, he's a domestic terrorist. That you see, their judge, jury, executioner. There's no proof of anything. That's a dangerous world. That's our government out of hand. That's tyranny. And that's why the Second Amendment was made. And I'm not asking for anybody to stand up and take arms. No. I'm saying we got to stand up to our government and say, knock off the double standards. We need to take another look at the Patriot Act, and any officer that spreads bullshit rumors about somebody, that dangerous rumors, needs to be disciplined immediately, and that means he should never pack a gun, never wear a badge. I feel very strongly about that. At any rate, I think I said pretty much everything I wanted to say. I keep trying to get a better light, and it's not working, but at any rate, okay, good night.